This is the moment of truth. How you feel?
Okay.
Do you think you're going to be able to tell the truth in front of all of America tonight?
By now, you know, everything that comes out of my mouth is either a lie or a half-truth.
Question 1. Have you ever made a wax replica of your private part?
Yes. I'm going to level with you. It's 5 inches, and it's not very thick, but it's veiny, which gives the illusion of girth.
Okay, let's find out if that's the truth.
That answer is true.
What do you like to do for fun?
I've been playing with my asshole since I was very young, before I can really remember.
Question 2. Have you ever been sexually attracted to your friend Joe?
Yes. I'm a big queer.
That answer is true.
That's 2 truthful answers. Question 3. Do you really care about the famine in Darfur?
My body feeds on infant death.
That answer is true.
Why don't more people think like me? The world would be a much better place.
Question 4. Have you ever forced yourself to throw up after eating to avoid gaining weight?
My body is work. My body feels angry sometimes. I sweat. My belly hurts. I cry. Yes.
That answer is true.
Question 5. Have you ever told someone you'd been tested for a sexually transmitted disease when in fact you hadn't?
I can't hide it. I really do have the immune system of an AIDS patient. I had like 6 months to live. Yes.
That answer is true.
They can fix that now, right? AIDS, it's like a B12 shot or something.
This is your $10,000 moment of truth. Question 6. Do you blame your father for ruining your childhood?
Yes. Dad's not allowed to give mommy kisses, but is legally obligated to give her 50% of his paycheck because he fucked the secretary.
That answer is true.
Since you've been married, have you ever had sexual relations with someone other than your husband?
Yes. I fucked my brother.
That answer is false.
Jesus effing Christ! Oh, God.
I am so sorry.
But that's alright. Well, thank you very much for playing with me.
See you next time on The Moment of Truth.
I don't understand. Is Don on the phone?
Hey, freaks, it's Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Coming up on the program today, wreck your ass with the Infinity Fist. Plus, racist prom proposals, mommy's got a cock for you to suck, and another sex-deprived loser finally snaps. All this plus your voicemails today.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
The guy, he's into dirty underwear or something. I don't know. He's sniff freak.
All right, hey freaks, Tim Henson with you back for the Wednesday edition of Distorted View Daily. Got a good one for you, lots to share, including some new information about an old DV favorite, and we will get into that in just a moment. But first, a lot of you freaks have been sending me along a link to some new sex toys. You guys apparently know how I blow through those butt plugs, wear them right out. I don't know how that's possible. My ass juices must be really acidic. Wears down the treads. Comes out looking all chewed up like a dog bone. My butthole is very talented and deadly. A deadly butthole. That sounds like a Lifetime original movie if I've ever heard one. A Deadly Butthole, starring Candace Cameron Bure. Whatever the fuck her name is. By the way, you know, last Christmas I told you that Lord Douche had the fucking Hallmark Channel on nonstop. Because the Hallmark Channel does this thing where they film about 80 new Christmas movies every year. And then every single day, I don't know how, first of all, these things must cost like $1.20 to produce. How much money is the Hallmark Channel raking in, right? I think they only have 3 scripts, and they just shoot the same film over and over. They just swap out actors. So as you're watching, you're like, I think I've seen this before. But I thought Tiffany Amber Thiessen was the main character, not Jodie Sweetin. Yeah, she's the owner of a bakery, and she solves a Christmas-themed murder mystery. Whatever. So, like, last year, I just read a news story about this, from, like, Variety. It's not like a breaking news. This was an entertainment news story, right? So last year, Hallmark literally filmed, like, 20 or 25, right, Christmas movies for their dumb channel. And this year, they're, like, upping it to 35. So I'm going to be stuck watching more of this crap. Plus, they're going to be airing reruns of last year's movies. Lord Douche hates Christmas, by the way. But for some reason, he loves these dumb movies. And I just learned that the Hallmark Channel is actually the Hallmark Channels. There's more than one. There's like the Hallmark Channel and then Hallmark Murder and Mysteries. But for Christmas, they just air fucking Christmas shit on that channel anyway. And now Lifetime's getting in on it. Last year, they, produced 8 movies, and now they're, doubling it. So now we've got the Hallmark channels and Lifetime movies. I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out watching this drivel. It's so bad. What does this have to do with butt plugs? I don't know. I think I'm gonna jam some of those things in my eyes this holiday season. You know how screwdrivers come in different tips? You got the Phillips and the flatheads. Why don't butt plugs have some standard tips to them, I mean, if you ever looked at a butt plug, I've spent a lot of time examining these things. They all kind of have that same cone shape. It comes up to a tip, but not too sharp of a tip, Why can't it come to a tip with a shape, like a hexagon or something? Add some veins. You don't really see butt plugs with veins. That shit's reserved for dildos. Know your sex toys. It's very important. So, getting back on track here. A company called Geeky Sex Toys. We've talked about them before on the program. They've come out with a line of Avengers-themed sex toys, but legally they can't call them Avengers, so I think they're called, Indulgers or Intruders or something. First of all, if you're a big Marvel fan, Geeky Sex Toys is the website you need to check out. They've got a line of Guardians of the Galaxy sex toys called Orgasms of the Galaxy. Then, of course, there's Spider Cock and the new Indulgers Pleasure War series. That includes, Thor's hammer. The actual hammer part sits is the base, right? And then the handle is what you shove in your asshole or pussy or whatever. Then there's the Infinity Fist, the Arse Reactor, that's the butt plug, and then showing Hawkeye some love, unlike the Avengers poster, which omitted Hawkeye. Hawkeye has his own sex toy called the Hawk Ass Arrow Dildo. There's a Captain Anal butt plug, the Incredible Dong, which is green, just like the Hulk. These things aren't cheap. They're like for the fist, it's like $100, I think. We talked about geeky sex toys before. I think the last time we mentioned them is when they released their Pokemon or Pokemon series of sex toys. Checking out their other lines, did you know they have a cryptocurrency themed series of sex toys? Yeah, a Bitcoin butt plug, a Bitcoin ball gag, and a Bitcoin dildo. They're all golden, emblazoned with the Bitcoin logo on it for some reason. I gotta be honest with you, I don't typically use sex toys. Typically. I save my sex toys for special occasions only. I'm like an old Italian woman. What if the Pope comes? That's when we'll bring out the nice sex toys. But I think I would be more utilitarian when it comes to the sex. I don't really care what they look like, considering where they're going. I don't care if they're gold, have sparkles, if, there's a commercial tie-in to a movie franchise. It's all about the end result. Getting my dick hard, and getting off. I don't need to pay a premium when the base generic model will do. By the way, you know what's coming, right? If you are in the market for a sex toy, could I possibly direct you to adamandeve.com? They've got a wide range of sex toys. They're a sponsor of DV, and they have an amazing deal for you. Pick out something you like. It doesn't have to be a sex toy. They've got other stuff. They've got movies, lingerie, underwear, necessities like condoms and lube, fuck furniture, games. Pick out something you like, add it to your cart, use coupon code FREAK, F-R-E-A-K, boom! You get that item for 50% off, plus Adam and Eve is going to throw in a free sex swing and free shipping on your entire order. An amazing deal, adamandeve.com, coupon code FREAK. Check it out. Moving on now. We have featured so many amazing acts from the 1980s television program Stairway to Stardom. If you've never heard of that show, it's because it only aired in one market, New York City, on public access. It was basically a talent show for people with very little talent. One of my personal favorites was Precious Taft. She got up there and she performed a monologue. Have you ever seen anyone, like on America's Got Talent or something, perform a monologue? No, because they're boring. If you want to show off your acting abilities, act. Monologues are basically just reading with emotion. It's not that hard to do. Anyway, I loved Precious Taft's monologue. The video clip of her doing this monologue was about a minute in length. Well, I've got some very exciting news. Recently, whoever controls the Stairway to Stardom channel on YouTube started posting full episodes. I tracked down the Precious Taft episode, and I have the full extended monologue. Plus, I was so pleased to find out that Precious Taft is featured multiple times throughout the episode. She also, sings a few songs. So let me play you the raw and uncut monologue first.
Do you have a monologue, Andy?
Sure, I certainly do. Mm-hmm.
All right, why don't you do a monologue?
It's already a shit show with people coughing in the background.
About course.
Okay, this monologue is from a book called The Gingham Dog by Langford Wilson. It's about two married couples, Gloria Black and Vincent White. Gloria's expressing her
White and black, how trite.
bitterness during the separation. I used to pray. I really did.
That piano is so fucking loud. You can't even hear her. Oh, I'm loving every second of this. For my monologue, I'll be performing a piece from The Withered Remains, a play by Walter Milligan, dealing with the very serious subject of marital infidelity. I come home after a long day of work to this. The sight that has burned in my skull for eternity. The sight of my man lying in bed with another woman. The head on my pillow. Your heart in your hand. And I kill myself. I'm gonna blow my brains out. That was unintelligible, Precious.
I said this when it began, when we had to move up. Only at first, really. This could be saved with a child.
Oh, a tale as old as time. You know, a marriage that's in the shitter, and a woman who's like, I know what will save this. Let's have a baby. People are so fucking short-sighted. Okay, the sex is good. He nuts inside of you. He's gonna like that. The idea of creating an offspring's kind of cool, right? Chances are halfway through the pregnancy, he's cheating on you. You're all fat and disgusting and wearing maternity clothes, very unflattering, or sweatpants or something, and eating gross shit and vomiting. You don't want to have sex, right? So he's going to go find some other, woman to fuck around with, right? And then he's going to be super nice to you because he feels bad. And you're too dumb to realize what's going on, and you think everything is great still. Oh, we're having a baby! This fixed our marriage! And then you give birth to this thing, and it's probably great for the first week or so. Everyone's excited about the new baby! And then you start to notice that your husband is working extra hours at the office. Oh, he's having late meetings. He has to work on the weekends. Because he doesn't want to be home dealing with the screaming kids. And then the marriage just falls apart anyway. And now there's a kid involved. I mean, it's so clear how this plays out. We don't need a whole play about this in 7 acts or whatever. Okay. Continue on, Precious. I'm sorry.
Like Robert said, a combination, half you, half me.
Yeah.
And I pictured him. Sometimes a boy, sometimes a girl.
Hey, why don't you let the child decide what it wants to be? So sick of your heteronormative gender bias bullshit, or whatever it's called. Yeah, she wants this family to stay together. Nothing's gonna drive this guy to alcoholism faster than having a queer child. Wearing girl clothes? I know he didn't get the fruit genes from my half. This is all your fault.
He was as light as you sometimes, or as dark as me, or darker. With all kinds of funny hair problems that I had to contend with.
God, she is such a victim. Okay, you had to comb your hair. I still think the Jews in Poland had it a little bit worse than you, with your cowlick or whatever.
And he was the reason. He was what it all meant. And he was always very, very bright.
On second thought, I don't think I want to play the entire monologue. This is pretty awful. She's just going on and on, like imagining what this kid would be like.
And sometimes, as light as coffee, or as dark as chocolate.
Racist.
Or a beautiful caramel.
I don't know if this monologue is supposed to make me emotional. I know it's made me hungry for a candy bar. His skin was like coffee, or maybe chocolate. Swirls of caramel, dipped in nougat. I think you want to eat your baby, you sicko!
And as beaming as any of the laughing Spanish kids you see running all over the street. I patterned him after the Spanish kids you see running all over the street.
So I don't know what play this is from. She mentioned it at the beginning. But what's happening here is, you know, she's coming up with these thoughts of like what her kid would be like if she had a child with this man. But then her marriage gets so bad, she can't even entertain the thought of procreating.
The thought of that child curdles me. And oh Lord! I only thank the benevolent God for being wiser than me. Because if a son existed now, I swear, I'd bash his brains against the goddamn radiator!
So if somehow she got pregnant and had a baby, she would kill it in a super brutal way. I mean, she gave this some fucking thought. Bashing his head against the radiator? That's some dark shit. That's definitely not coffee. That's not a caramel thought. That's an espresso, dark, rich thought. My favorite part. She lowers that mic. Until it hits the floor. And what can you say about a performance like that?
That was beautiful, Precious.
Beautiful. Beautiful is not quite the word I would use to describe that performance. Now that is where the original clip ended. That's beautiful, Precious. I always wondered what he said after that. This woman just gave a monologue about bashing a baby's head against a goddamn radiator. Let's see how the host responds.
That was beautiful, Precious. You know, once before on the show, I did a closing number, and I didn't have time to finish it, and I received letters and calls, and I thank you for them, asking me to do the number again. So here it is, in completion, I hope.
So from dead babies to... Old Man River. Is that appropriate for a white man to sing right after a black woman performs? It just doesn't seem right.
But he don't say nothing. He just...
Yeah, that's the host and MC, Frank Massey. Thank you, Frank. I want to hear some more of Precious Taft. She is multi-talented. She apparently also sings. Here she is.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful.
Do you think Precious can hit those high notes?
Making love with you is all I wanna do.
She's not bad. She should really stick to singing.
Loving you, I see the sun
sounds pretty good. Okay, maybe she's not the best singer in the world, but let's compare her to other Stairway to Stardom acts.
Hairdresser, hairdresser, whoa, hairdresser, 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 would you set me up?
My favorite YouTube comment on this video is, what's the name of this song? Also, hairdresser could have been wrapped up in nicely in about 15 to 21 seconds, but somehow she managed 4 minutes and 21 seconds of this rambling psychosis. It's a strange song if you've never heard it. I used to play it a lot on the show. We haven't played it much recently, but maybe I'll link to it on today's show notes so you can listen to the whole thing. Halfway through, it turns into a whole other song. It's like, Teaser Louise, oh, the guys call her Teaser Louise. Sounds nothing like hairdresser, hairdresser. All right, Stairway to Stardom, just a plethora of crap, really. Here's one that I don't think we've ever played before.
You light up my life. You give me hope.
Oh, this screeching nonsense.
You light up my day. And fill my nights with song.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She also sings she also sings Let Me Entertain You in a too sexual way for a 13-year-old.
Let me entertain you.
Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom.
Smile.
This is where she twirls her nipple tassels.
New tricks, some old and then some new tricks. I'm very versatile.
All right, enough of that. Real quick, before we get into the news, I want to play a short clip from someone we featured yesterday on the show for the first time. I just want everyone to be on the same page. Sideshow freaks and non-paying listeners alike. You all should know who CD MILF is. This was a submission by a listener who I'm sure doesn't want their real name revealed. So, Thomas McDaniel, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm talking about the Thomas McDaniel of Pensacola, Florida. DV listener and cross-dresser fetish freak. Ting! No, that is not who submitted this. Anyway, so I featured this cross-dresser yesterday, and I just fell in love with her. Here she is. In this video, I guess she's playing the role of Mommy. The title of the video is Mommy Teaches Her Girl How to Be a Good Cocksucker. But I think they're both guys in this video. Okay.
Look at that. Look at Mommy's cock. You like Mommy's cock, don't you?
I do, Mommy.
Yeah.
Such a nice big cock.
Mm-hmm. Getting you awfully excited here.
They're stroking each other's cock. I'm kind of confused here. I don't know who the mommy is. I can't see who's speaking. They're both guys, but then they're both girls. My head's going to explode.
My little cock is all hard and leaking. And
yeah. You feel that cum. Oh my gosh, you're so wet down there.
Mommy gets me very excited.
You gonna show Mommy what a good cocksucker you are?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah. Suck Mommy's cock.
Well, that is something you should never have to hear. Imagine those words coming out of your own mom's mouth.
Mommy loves sucking cock. You know Mommy's a whore. Mommy's the biggest slut on the street. And that's why I need to train you. So my little girl needs to help me out with all those dicks. I can't suck them all by myself. Oh, look at my good little girl.
Come on, put your video games down and help your mother suck all these dicks. Sounds just like my mama. All right, in with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted, and fucked up news right now. Hey, do you like Distorted View Daily? If so, please consider supporting this nonsense. How? The best way is to sign up for the Sideshow DV's member site, where you get full access to the entire archive of programs. I've been at this since December 2004, the longest-running podcast in the history of podcasts. I have no idea if that's true. I like to think so in my head, though. Every week we do exclusive shows just for paying members. Tomorrow we'll be doing another one. Yesterday we did an exclusive show. Tomorrow we'll be doing an exclusive show. It's very inexpensive, only $6.99 a month. Even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. We accept PayPal and all major credit cards. Check it out, superfreaksideshow.com right now. Okay, 3 quick stories, then we'll get the hell out of here. First up, look at this one. It comes from our most fucked up state. Say it with me.
Florida is the most fucked up state.
You know, sometimes when I'm just relaxing or just, messing around on the internet or something, I'll come across a news story and be like, oh my God, this would be great for the show. And I email, and I'm not even looking for content for DV. It just sort of falls into my lap. But then other times, I'll read a insanely ridiculous news story and not even think about the show. And that's what happened here. I ran across this story a couple days ago, and I didn't even think to talk about it here on the show until some listeners mentioned it. One Florida teenager is being criticized after he used a racist sign to invite his girlfriend to prom. You may have heard about this story. It kind of went viral. The sign, created by Noah Crowley, 18, of Sarasota, read, "If I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for prom." Everyone should be offended by this sign. First of all, he used basic stenciling. No creativity whatsoever. He didn't even color the fucking sign, right? Artistically, it's offensive to me. Secondly, if you're a woman, I would be kind of pissed off. Like, I'm picking you for prom. Oh, he's such a stud. God's gift to women is picking me. I should feel so honored. All of this just seems pretty lazy. He posted this on Instagram. Crowley's fellow students at Riverview High School found a photograph of the sign on the female student's Snapchat. Oh, Snapchat. The girl put 2 heart eye emojis in her caption for her Snapchat post. Students responded on social media saying they were disgusted by the sign. I'm trying to think of a more racially offensive way to ask a girl to prom. The only thing I could come up with is recording a karaoke version of Coon Shootin' Boogie. Well, let's shoot them coons, yeah, one by one. Go to your closets and get your gun. Kate, go to prom with me, and with a little luck, we'll tie a darkie to the end of my truck. Such a romantic evening. Why are all racist songs country? I mean, I think I know the answer to that question. But you don't hear, very many rock songs or heavy metal songs that are racist like that. Are you all ready to lynch a black? Wow. I guess I just don't understand why the racist angle, in his prom proposal. Does he know is this chick particularly racist or something? She's fond of racial humor. Who knows? There's got to be better ways to ask a girl out. Students responded on social media saying they were disgusted by the sign. Yeah. Come on, Noah. We have to do better than this, one person tweeted. This is why racism is still a thing. It's not why racism is still a thing. It's an example of racism being still a thing. Let me see what I can get away with. Another student tweeted the image and said, he seems to not know about America's history. Racism is a problem. I love that we have to, lay this all out. Racism is a bad thing. Definitely should not be allowed to go to prom. Riverview senior Anton Kernahan said, while the sign was racist, it revealed an important point. A stencil on poster board proposal is incredibly lazy. Not to belabor the subject, but for Christ's sakes, use some markers, some glitter, something. Also, the kerning is all off. All right, I think it's actually important that this issue occurred on some level, Kernahan said. It shows that racism is still alive, as if there were any question about that, in our society, and it shows that racism is still alive in my generation, and it's something that we, as the youth, will have to continue to fight against. Sarasota County Schools released a statement saying it did not condone the sign. Although the message is one student's opinion, we take the matter of racial relations and school safety seriously. An update to the story is that the parents of this kid responded, or they issued a statement saying, we're not racist. We raised our kid to be better, and he's not going to be allowed to go to prom or any school function. That includes school-sanctioned lynchings. No fun for this kid. He's going to go to school and come directly home. I think they should force him to take, like, calligraphy classes or something. So his next prom proposal is a little more elegant. All right, second story we have for you today. I'm sure a lot of you heard about that horrible story out of Toronto where someone took a van and just mowed down pedestrians. My first thought was, like, did he rent who owns a fucking van, right? I don't know if he rented a van. If so, was that really the best vehicle for the job? I know this is probably the wrong point to focus on, but, like, if you're going to run over bodies and stuff, don't you want, like, a 4x4, Land Rover, or Jeep or something? This guy's goal, obviously, was to run down as many people as possible. I just feel like a lot of times these criminals are dumb. Wasn't thinking about the best car for the mission. All right, a van driver accused of killing 10 people in Toronto posted to Facebook minutes before the attack to praise a woman-hating mass shooter. Guess who he was praising? Elliot Rogers. That should ring a bell for DV listeners. Yeah, he was that kid that went on a shooting spree because no one would fuck him. And now here is the obligatory clip from my Dating on Demand video for Elliot Rogers.
Finish this thought. I can make a girl wet just by saying,
You deserve to be annihilated.
describe the taste of pussy.
I've never had a taste of that because no girls give me a chance.
And then he promptly shot up a bunch of them. That's not how you get a woman. Alec Manassian, charged on Tuesday with 10 counts of murder and 13 counts of attempted murder, also referred to the misogynistic incel Reddit group. We've talked so much about incels. See, this is why Distorted View is also educational. It's edutainment. I should be receiving some grants. I take you little assholes to school every day, teaching you what you don't even know you need to know. This is why it's so important you support Distorted View Daily, like a PBS pledge drive now. You can't get quality news and entertainment anywhere else. Seriously, though, I mean, we covered Elliot Rodger extensively. I infiltrated the Love Shy forums, which is a group of, incels, basically. Got inside their little minds, right? Made you aware of them. And, when this happened, when this Toronto thing hit, and you heard that this guy was an incel, you're like, I know what that means. I learned it on Distorted View. No one's fucking this guy, and he went crazy. All right, police say the 25-year-old intentionally drove a rental van. See, it was a rental van. He could have rented took a fucking Jeep Grand Cherokee for a test drive and got the job done. Whatever. Police say the 25-year-old intentionally drove a rental van into pedestrians on a busy pavement. The suspect was arrested several streets away after a tense standoff with police. The 10 dead and 14 wounded are predominantly women, ranging in age from their 20s into their 80s. He's pissed off because even elderly women won't fuck him. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said it was a senseless attack and a horrific tragedy.
It's a great tragedy.
Exactly. The suspect's Facebook post, which the social network has confirmed as real, praised Elliot Rodger, a 22-year-old from California who killed 6 people in a 2014 shooting rampage before turning the gun on himself. The post read, "The incel rebellion has already begun. We will overthrow all the Chads and Stacys." For those of you that don't know, Chads are basically guys who can get women. Guys who are sexually active, and Stacys are the girls they are fucking. More importantly, Stacys are the girls that are not fucking incels. They're the ones that reject all of the incels. So incels both love and hate Stacys. They want to fuck Stacys, but Stacys won't allow it. All right, all hail the supreme gentleman, Elliot Rogers. The term incel refers to a now banned group on the message site Reddit, used by Rogers, where young men discuss their lack of sexual activity. Incels basically means involuntarily celibate, blaming women for all of their problems. Chads and Stacys refer to attractive men and women. He was brought to court on Tuesday to hear the charges against him. His head shaved and wearing a white jumpsuit. Attractive. He held his hands behind his back, showing little emotion throughout. He will remain in custody and return to court on May 10th for a bail hearing. he was ordered to make no contact with surviving victims. A man believed to be his relative sat in the front row of the courtroom and wept. Asked by reporters if he had anything to say, the man simply replied, "Sorry." Yonge Street, where the attack took place, I was there when I went to Toronto, remained closed on Tuesday as police continued their investigation. He also, I think, suffered from Asperger's, or he was mildly autistic or something. He attended a school for students with special needs. He would be seen walking around with his head down and his hands clasped tightly together, making meowing noises. Yeah, ladies, he's still single. All right, he wasn't a social person. No shit. But from what I remember, he was absolutely harmless. Are you sure about that? Or do you have an awful memory? All right, he went on to attend Seneca College, where the van incident took place. The Canadian Armed Forces has also confirmed he was a member for 2 months. Really? In late 2017 before asking to voluntarily be released. Wait a second. We're talking about a guy who keeps his head down, refuses to make eye contact with anyone, and clasps his hands tightly together, meowing like a cat. And they accepted him into the Canadian Armed Forces? Sounds about right. I wanted to see what people on the Love Shy forum were saying about this guy. Not surprisingly, many were sympathetic. I haven't seen anyone call him Saint Alec yet, like they call Elliot Rodgers Saint Elliot. But here's one comment. Basically, the current environment is inherently hostile to intellectuals. These incels and Love Shy guys think they're brilliant, right? That's why women won't have sex with us. We're too smart. Basically, the current environment is inherently hostile to intellectuals and dissidents. Hence, an incel is likely to be a social dissident who is hated by the stupid, conformist, and drone-like world. The only problem with an incel is that he's still blue-pilled on the nature of evolution and sex, and hence irrationally seeks something inherently worthless, namely DSR. I have no idea what DSR means. I went on Urban Dictionary. The closest I came was Down syndrome retard, and I don't think they're talking about that. Has anyone done research into the Love Shies and incels? If so, what the hell does DSR mean or stand for? I was actually surprised because there wasn't a whole lot of talk. Aside from one thread that had a bunch of posts, no one's really talking about the Toronto shooter on Love Shy. They're mostly just having a big pity party for themselves. One of the most recent threads is, "I feel sorry for incels." But the person posting is an incel, you know what I mean? So it's here's the post. "I've always felt sorry for myself for being incel, but today I was laying in bed, and it's just a wave of compassion that went over me, thinking that there's gotta be 9 or 8 incels out there who had to experience my pain. The thought that there were other beings who had to share my life of pain and agony was just..." Keep in mind, this is just because he can't get laid, right? A life of pain and agony. It was too much for me. I cried. This guy is really just crying over himself, right? I felt a wave of compassion, and I want to be a spiritual guide for incels. That's why I put this in the Lighthouse. That's one of the forums, I guess. I want a better future for everyone. Okay, well, how about offering up some solutions? And I hope it doesn't involve renting a van. Actually, this guy does have a suggestion for improving lives. I think the answer is virtual reality. With virtual reality, we can live out the lives we want. Only question is, how do we make virtual reality so high quality that it's the same as regular reality? The first reply had to have been a punch to the gut for this poor guy. Sex bots and VR porn are right around the corner. Give it 10 to 12 years for them to make it presentable. What the? These guys need sex now. They're free. Every day they don't get laid, it's another 24 hours of pure agony and pain. The guy literally says, I didn't read this line, "I would never even wish my life on my worst enemy." That's exactly how Elliot Rodgers behaved, and aside from not being good with women, he had a fucking charmed life. His dad was rich. He drove a fucking Mercedes, right? He was going to college, not having to pay for anything. Elliot Rogers could have just got like a part-time job, right? Saved up $1,000 or $2,000 or something and bought himself a fantastic evening with a prostitute and busted a massive tsunami of a nut, a tidal wave of cum right into that bitch's pussy. And it would have cleared his mind right out. Or if he didn't want to get a job, he could do what this guy in Oregon did. Yes, here is our third story of the evening. Washington County Sheriff's Office deputies arrested a man Tuesday who they believe sexually assaulted a horse. Kenneth Dyack, 20 or something. Dyack, 20, was arrested. He's a transient man. I think that means he's homeless. He was arrested on charges of sexual assault of an animal, second-degree burglary. Oh, like you raped a horse and then you stole his shoes or whatever. I don't know what else a horse would have on it. Saddle or something. Rude. And probation violations. The Washington County Sheriff's Office first began investigating the incident on April 19th after they received a call from a resident in the 200 block of Northwest 334th Avenue. The homeowner told deputies that she went out to her horse stables that morning and found one of her horses tied up in a manner she had not left it. All spread eagle. Little horse arms tied to the bedpost. Kinky. Oh, not that kind of tied up. Okay, I'm sorry. The woman said that it looked like other items in the area had been disturbed, indicating someone had been there. After the horse was evaluated by a vet, deputies believe the horse was sexually assaulted. It's hard to tell with a horse, right? Because everything about them is so big. Like their assholes are big, their pussies are big. You know, a human dick's not going to hurt the horse, right? Investigators obtained suspect information from the victim and neighbors that made them consider Dyack a suspect. They say he frequents the Cornelius and Forest Grove areas. A notorious bestiality hotspot, maybe? Tuesday morning, deputies found the man parked in a vehicle in the Cornelius Walmart lot. At first, he told deputies he entered the stables, but only to look for work. A job, if you will, of the blow variety. Sucking on horse dick. All right, at first he told deputies that he entered the stables, but only to look for work. Later, he admitted he had sexual contact with the horse. Is that wrong? Should I have not done that? Is that illegal in Oregon? I'm looking at an interactive map here. Looks like Oregon has outlawed it. This article was written a year ago about the laws. And as of like 2017, Hawaii, Kentucky, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, of course, Ohio, Texas, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming, and the District of Columbia do not have bestiality laws on the books. But as of the writing, Ohio was just getting around to doing something about it, so I don't know. Fucking my dog might be wrong, legally speaking. I want to fuck my dog in his little tail hole.
I want my dog to perform a little anal sex on my tail hole. And I need it right now. 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 Lick my dirty hole, you beautiful doggy. I want it so bad. I want you to fuck me really, really hard so I could feel your great husky cock.
God bless the internet that something like this exists. All right, there you go. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Wednesday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you, freaks. 206-666-4463. That's our voicemail line. We also have a special Patreon line. Pledge a few bucks. I will play your voicemails first. You get a special phone number. Patreon.com/DistortedView. Finally, if you want to email me, show@distortedview.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram @DistortedView. And, of course, Facebook.com/DistortedViewShow.
Hey, Tim. Happy Easter.
Hello.
Tim, you wondered if turkeys laid eggs?
Didn't we play this yesterday?
And they actually do, but the reason you don't see them cooked is because it's kind of a waste of potential. You know, when the bird can get so...
Yeah, we played this call, but, you know, I still don't get it. Chickens are way bigger than eggs, so, I mean, isn't it kind of a waste of an egg there, too? You know what I'm saying? Chicken meat, you know, you got the thighs and the legs and the all that stuff.
Hi, Tim. This is Brendan from New York. I've been editing the Freakypedia for a few weeks now since I started listening after a 3-year break from the show.
Yeah, freakypedia.net. It's like a Wikipedia for the show. So if you ever wonder, like, oh, who the hell's Scott Taylor? What is it's just a fun thing mean? You type that in, and usually there's an article.
And there's still a problem with spam every single day.
Really?
And since I'm the only one editing the Freakypedia at the moment, can somebody...
God, now I gotta find my username for that thing?
Make me some sort of moderator so I can delete the spam?
Well, I'll look into that. I haven't been on that website for a long time. I kind of forgot it existed. It is kind of cool, though, if you want to read about, distorted view things.
Fall away and leave the bleeding in my hands.
In my hands again. In my hands again. I don't know the words. I don't think you do either. You just gotta mumble.
Hey, Tim. Haley's Comet calling up about the whole family cloth thing. I'm pretty sure I know where that came from. I suspect it was...
Oh, family cloth. That's like where instead of using toilet paper, you use a piece of cloth over and over.
Probably an outgrowth of the cloth diapering community. My wife and I have cloth diapered our oldest child.
Of course you did.
And have kind of sort of been cloth diapering our younger one as well. And once you're in cloth diapering, you find that the cost of wipes that are properly flushable are much higher than the wipes that are designed to just sort of be wadded up with a disposable diaper and thrown away. So a lot of
that's a huge problem.
People in the cloth diapering communities also end up using cloth wipes, which are reusable and washable, and you just wash in the washing machine with your cloth diapers.
I would have to buy a whole separate machine if I'm going to be washing shitty shit.
Time, my wife and I stopped really participating in any of the cloth diapering forums because, our oldest was potty trained.
Why are there forums for this? It's like you use a cloth diaper. It's just something you do. You might want to read a tutorial on it or something, but why is there a whole community? What a weird thing to gather around and talk about.
One wasn't born yet. We really didn't have a need to be participating anymore. I'd started seeing people talking about what the best diaper designs would be and what type of cloth wipes would be appropriate for
adults.
Adults who were in diapers, elderly individuals, disabled individuals, and
sex freaks.
And there were a few people who were talking about using larger versions of these cloth diaper wipes for the adults in the household as well. In terms of what fabric they're made from, there's quite a bit of variety. Usually it's going to be something soft and flexible.
Okay, maybe I'm super dumb here. I don't have a kid. I don't know how this all works. But okay, your baby shits in this cloth diaper. What do you do at that point? Do you scrape out the shit and you throw the actual clumps of shit into a wastebasket, or do you throw the whole shitty cloth diaper into the wash? How does that work?
And fairly absorbent. Some of the cloth diaper wipes that my wife and I have used and have.
I just picture you scraping off your baby's shit like dried food on a plate.
And are still using on our youngest child.
Where you put it in the washer?
Some of them are microfiber. A lot of them are basically a thick cotton. And there's even a few that are hemp fabric.
These are not things I care about. I want to know more about dealing with the shitty diaper.
That's kind of the background of where this came from.
Okay. Bye. Well, thank you very much, Haley's comment. Please call back with more information. Information I want. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. Why don't you guys email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660. God, is it all good? I'm gonna blow my brains out! Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. I will see you back tomorrow if and only if you're Sideshow members. If you're not yet a member, sign up so you don't miss a thing. Otherwise, I'll be back on Friday to end the week. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody!
Hairdresser, hairdresser, whoa, hairdresser, 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 would you set me up, make
give you a chance, 'cause I wanna dance. And if you really would, it would be understood. I'll make sure I tip you good. Cut my hair, it won't behave. Set it up with gel and a wave. 1 or 2 ringlets, keep the top a little wet. Hey, don't get so upset. I think something's wrong. You're taking much too long. Are you sure this piece looks great? I'm worried, I'm tired, I'm late. I want it just like yours. Perhaps it'll open new doors. It's confidence I like. Maybe you'll bring it all back. Tease it up. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. Tease it up. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. What a tease. A tease. What a tease. Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. All the guys call it Teaser Louise. Without her hair, without her face, she just stayed Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. You know she's not out to please. How can a model drink beer from a bottle? That's why they call it Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. Teaser Louise. You know she's not out to please. When you endure through all that's in store, you'll overcome Teaser Louise. And she says, please, 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 please. Hairdresser, hairdresser, whoa, hairdresser, hairdresser, oh, hairdresser, hairdresser. Hairdresser, hairdresser, oh, hairdresser, 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 oh, hairdresser, 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 oh, whoa, whoa, hairdresser, 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 oh, hairdresser, ooh, 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 hairdresser, 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 tease my hair, hairdresser, 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 oh, oh, tease my hair, hairdresser, hairdresser, Thank you.
Shut your goddamn ass up.